Hi, I'm Eric Lanask. We're here in Santa Clara at our Editors' Days. On the program with me now, Hans Ashlock from Quali Systems. Hans, great to have you with us. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Great to be here.
So, I guess a couple topics that we probably should touch on. Can we start with something that Quali Systems has been known for, and that's your test automation stuff. What's going on in the world of test automation?
Well, so Quali Systems did start really in the world of network test automation. And it's not necessarily the sexy topic of, it's not as cool as cloud, but it really is a key enabler for creating that keyword DevOps.
Right.
And organizations are having to transform into agile businesses, creating continuous processes, continuous cycles. And a key part of that is test automation. Now, we've done some really cool things around that and brought that to some more cloud enablement, but test automation is still a real key factor and a key enabler for businesses to get to agile processes.
And you mentioned it being a core element of the whole DevOps cycle. To what extent is DevOps really become a part of the enterprise environment? Is it, or is it still limited, or are we seeing more and more of it?
DevOps is one of those things that everyone wants to do. Everyone wants to talk about it.
Yeah.
A lot of our customers and the markets that we play in enterprise, but as well network equipment manufacturers, service providers, they're all thinking about and doing DevOps. And it's difficult to do because, as they say, the devil's in the details. And you can talk a lot about DevOps, but at the end of the day, you've got to get down to your day-to-day processes and make them agile, make the transitions between development, test, production, your proof of concepts, sales and marketing, all the different organizations that are part of your overall business, all have to play together. And that's one of the things that we're addressing.
Got it. How does cloud play into that all?
So cloud works really well if you're in the public cloud. You see that AWS and public cloud is just making a killing right now.
Yeah.
And IT wants to get in on that as well. What we're seeing is that line of business organizations, so those organizations that aren't necessarily covered under production IT, they need to cloud enable their processes as well. But a lot of times what that looks like is very different than the typical approach of taking a public cloud approach to doing cloud and trying to translate that directly to your enterprise or your organization. What we see is that the general purpose cloud approach doesn't work for private cloud. And so we work with a lot of line of business organizations, sales and marketing, support centers, development and test environments, where they've got to create what we call cloud sandboxes, which are custom-built, complex cloud environments that are built to meet the specific needs of that organization.
Has that changed really the focus of the company?
It has. So 2 years ago, we released our flagship product, which is Cloud Shell, and that is specifically focused on allowing customers to create self-service environments and cloud sandboxing environments around things like demo and proof of concept centers, support labs, innovation centers, advanced technology centers, and development and test and certification centers as well. But all of those have really specific requirements, very separate than your general purpose cloud IT is going to bring.
With that, is it a question of are you selling to your existing customer base, or is this opening up new opportunities for Quali Systems?
It's opening up new opportunities and new opportunities within existing customers.
Both.
So we'll have the marketing and sale guys see what the customer support team is doing, and they're saying, "Hey, I can do that with my demo lab." We have customers that are wanting to grow, for example, the number of demos that they can provide for their customers, they want to grow that by 1,000% in 1 year. The only way they can do that is by creating self-service cloud environments around these special purpose data centers, consolidating equipment, consolidating all the tools, all the things that are in the silos, and bringing those into one place, building a cloud platform around it, and then exposing it to the end users through like a self-service catalog that allows, for example, an SE to come in and say, hey, I want to give this particular demo, I want to schedule it for a certain time, and the software then goes and reserves the equipment, performs all of that low-level provisioning and orchestration so that when they come in with their customer, everything's ready to go. And that's something that they can't do with a more general purpose cloud platform. Mm-hmm. They've got to have all that custom pieces in there. And they need something that is built for that non-production cycle of spinning up environments, provisioning equipment, resources, virtual components for a period of time, and then tearing it back down and then returning it to a pool of shared resources.
Got it. Are these being run in the public cloud, in the data center, or where?
Yeah, that's a great question. Mostly private on-premise data centers. But that's not to say that these aren't in themselves public clouds. So a great example is Cisco's DevNet, which is their global developer community. Mm-hmm. They've exposed a public cloud platform for all of their third-party developers to come in, provision really complex end-to-end environments built on Cisco solutions. And it's a public cloud. And so it's not the typical public cloud that you'd be running in AWS. It's running on on-premise data centers, but it's exposed as a public cloud to their global developer community.
Really making it possible for them to expand the developer community as much as they want to. Really.
Yeah, I mean, they're accelerating their whole partner ecosystem. They're accelerating the rate at which their third-party ISVs can develop over-the-top solutions on Cisco infrastructure, and we have a number of other folks that are releasing similar solutions like that on our platform.
Which, in a lot of ways, there are some consistencies between the two parts of our conversation. It's the whole world is turning to rapid, agile development.
Yeah. So even on the test and certification side, we have service providers that are creating cloud environments for their third-party vendors to come in and certify solutions and new products on their services and their network services. Requires very complex provisioning of equipment and resources that you're not going to be able to do in a virtual-only environment.
Well, during our conversation, I'm sure you've got customers who have developed 2 or 3 different services in a short time. Hans, it's been great talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate it. Glad to be on.